So welcome to the real game number 4. First one's a little dud there, eXtinC sadly disconnecting. And let's go on into the action. Gonna be this time a quick little reversal of fortunes. Gonna be Specs on the bottom right, eXtinc's on the top left. And now we do see some drones and the Zergs, just the overlords are being built up. We have Specs as well doing the standard, put a pylon and just move on out instead. So far so good, and it's great that there are a lot of options for us in StarCraft. Just in case we wanted a resume, we can do it through a replay. But instead, we're gonna opt for a full remake, and this time it's eXtinC not being too afraid of the pylon rush there from Specs. This time he's like, I'm not gonna fall for it twice, and the probe just gonna respect him like that. Just gonna go for the quick little mineral mine instead. Just try to bother out and just try to be a little bit of a nuisance, slowing down the amount of minerals going the way of the Zerg. Second base gonna come out now for Specs pretty early on. Gateway is into the game. No real cheesy tactics here from both sides. No early pulls, no nothing. We do see the spawning pool right now at the 18 supply mark for eXo.XtinC. Pretty standard stuff so far. Your question is, can he keep this up? Can he actually get onto the board and take a win? Because so far Specs has been so solid with his play. Just very dominant with his Protoss play, honestly. Cyber Core gonna be being built up, and Warp Gate will be, of course, the global standard here for the Protoss army. Nothing else much to talk about as the Overlord just watches over and just moves on out like a slug on vacation. Cybernetics Core is now in the field. We have the second gateway to form the second part of the Great Wall of Protoss. And Adept even being Chrono boosted out, doesn't want to face any early aggression, but at the same time eXtinC only moving out of the base now, so the Chrono boost not necessary until he queues up the Stalker. So a little more safe play here from Specs. He knows eXtinC will be on the rampant, wants to trade us back, wants to get onto the board with a win or two to end this out. Specs though going for his standard, gonna be a Stargate in the backline. Will the Phoenix or the Oracles make a difference as the Zerglings now just running around the map, just going for a little bit of scouting, not really going on to the base however. Never mind, they're at the base. The hatchery though, oh, an early mutation here from eXtinC. Looks like he's learned his lesson, gonna try and counter out anything going his way in terms of air units, not gonna rely on spore crawlers. We'll see if this is gonna be an early Hydralisk then, or will this be an early Spire, to say the least. Adepts now being double pumped out. And will this actually be enough for eXo.Specs in his defense? Can he actually use these Adepts to go for the harassment? Because this early lair puts eXtinC at a small disadvantage in terms of defense. We'll have to rely on those Queens and those transfusions. Nidus and Roach. Wow, this is gonna be very aggressive here from eXo.XtinC. He's gonna go for the Overlord, giving some sight, gonna drop the Nidus into the backline of the Protoss RV, maybe here up on top, and just make an opening. However, we have the Twilight Council into play. Gateway is gonna shield up the Stargate as well, and we have the pylon in the middle, of course. So another Artosis there for Protoss army. Second pylon will be into play, and the Overlord being morphed into an Overseer. That is very interesting when you get the Overseer out and about, because you know that they need that extra vision, they need the detection, and he's just looking around. Maybe is it be a Dark Templar, gonna be a Dark Shrine. Changing immediately gets picked off, and this Overseer already dying so quickly. Gets spotted out however by the Phoenix, so he knows the Phoenix will be the next play of the game. The Adept in position to intercept these Zerglings, moving on in, and the Phoenix still at the base, gonna just try to fly around for the time being onto the bottom side. But now the Nidus Worm is gonna be into play, and interesting enough, he's gonna do it in front of the wall. It's not gonna be it's not gonna be in the back line of the base. So interesting. He's gonna show his hand so quickly. Queens come out of in full force, transfusing the Nidus Worm, and it's gonna be the Stalker getting funneled out. Zerg now trying to do some damage, just using the extra creep from the Nidus Worm to allow the Queens to be a little more mobile. The Roach is moving on in, getting some free hits there onto the Adepts as the Stalker. One of the Stalkers really low, gets taken down, but some trades going the way of both. And now eXo.XtinC not really in the best spot. The Queen really low, gets a sick transfusion there, but has to back off. He needs to cycle those Queens in and out as the shield battery is now doing work, just trying to give as much of that sweet blue bar there as much as they can. Crucible though being healed up, and these gateways. So the Warpies are the ones taking the brunt of the punishment. Interesting to note that he queued up the Roaches instead of putting them into the Nidus Worm. Could have been a little faster in terms of reinforcements, and now he's losing a lot more Queens than he should. But eXo.XtinC still has so many minerals in the backline. On the other hand, eXo.Specs is forced to actually use all his minerals there on in terms of army supply. And now the pylon finally goes down. It shuts down all of this. The shield battery is dead, but here comes the Void Ray. Spore Crawlers are being built, but will they make it? That is the real question. Queen now getting Graviton Beam into the face. Ravager does have to cross a battle. Will he launch it onto the Void Ray? No, unfortunate. And now the Queen is dead. The Spore Crawler is almost being built, but this is even worth it to actually finish up these Spore Crawlers. He's just gonna go for it. The Void right now in dire straits, gets taken down. The Phoenixes as well. The Stalker just wants to get rid of the Nidus Worm instead, and here comes the chase down on these Roaches. So both sides not playing that as good as they could be. Nidus Worm now gonna come out again here from eXo.XtinC. He's gonna load up those Roaches, and he's gonna queue up maybe a few more Queens in the near future. In terms of army supply though, the Zerg in the lead, applying the pressure, keeping it on. The Adepts and the Stalkers now will just get rid of the Nidus Worm really quickly. The Roaches is doing as much damage as they can. They don't have Burrow, however, they're just gonna crawl out into the sunset. And honestly, maybe an early Burrow wouldn't be much of a bad choice here for the Zerg. But the Adepts getting the kills, gonna be a Ravager cancel, interesting enough, from eXo.XtinC, and eXo.Specs cleans that up. That's gonna be GG. The early aggression there failing at the end, and the Nidus Worm, good effort there, but Specs will be able to still take this and get that 4th point.